Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is September 29th, and right now we are looking at the nighttime microphysics view satellite imagery here. And if we scroll through the overnight hours, what this product allows us to do is to see that marine layer moving around during the nighttime hours quite nicely. You can see it across Northern California, the Bay Area, which some places broke out a bit yesterday, but then it flooded back in, of course, as we went through the evening and overnight hours. And then you can see as we go towards this morning, still flooding into Southern California. Then the sun rises and kind of changes the dynamics of the view of the satellite imagery, but still a pretty prevalent marine layer here. And the big issue we're going to be talking about here over the next few days and next week or two is going to be the excessive heat across the region. I'll show you some of that and some of the records here as well. We'll take a look at some of those temperatures, and we'll also take a look at what could possibly be coming in the future as far as troughs and whatnot, maybe offshore wind events or tropical systems as well. Taking a look at thunderstorm activity today, nothing here for California, as you can see off to the east there. Only small amounts across Utah. Elevated fire weather conditions will be present for some areas. This is Sacramento National Weather Service, minor, but low relative humidities there and some gusts to 30 miles per hour could create some easier fire starts and keep your vehicles off dry grass. Don't throw your cigarette butts out the window, please. And taking a look at the heat advisory Monday through Wednesday, check it out. It does include San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, Monterey, Santa Rosa, Cloverdale, and again through 11 p.m. Wednesday. Hot conditions out there, even for some of the coastal areas, warming up a bit. And if we take a look at early October of record highs, this is for Fresno, California. Check it out. These are the record highs: 100 on October 1st, 101 and 103 on October 2nd and 3rd. You can see the expected forecast high. We are expected to break these temperature records here as we go through the early portion of October. So it's not just Arizona feeling the heat, it's much of the region. It's kind of been this tale of two stories between a little bit cooler conditions along some of the immediate coastal areas and much warmer conditions here over the last few months across the interior areas, and that just continues on right now. A good example of that is Phoenix, Arizona for one. Look at some of these record highs previously coming up. We are scheduled to beat every single one of these record high temperatures all the way through Thursday. This is an amazing run of heat, and it's been something that's been showing up here a lot more. 2023 was a very warm year as well. And 2024 is just shattering all kinds of records. More on that here in a moment. But if we take a look at, for example, I believe this is Needles, California. Look at the stretch of temperatures we've had here. This is abnormally warm here. It's not as crazy as Phoenix, but you're still above average across a lot of the desert areas. Wanted to point this out. 113 degrees yesterday. 10th of an inch so far this month. You can see that occurred back on the 20th there. Now, if we take a look at Needles, California, you can see by the time we get to the end of September, we're really starting to plunge those temperatures down. August and July and June, very warm. By the time we get towards the end of September, it starts to get comfortable again here, at least relatively so, and we see those temperatures dropping off as we go through November and January. But yeah, these extreme temperatures here, 113 degrees, well above the normal highs for this time of year. And if we take a look at Phoenix, this temperature on the 28th yesterday was just absolutely ridiculous. 117 degrees in Phoenix in late September is just absolutely bonkers. I cannot express this strongly enough just how unusual these temperatures are. And if we take a look at the end of September here, you see that the daily max highs were like 107, 108. If we go back through August, the all-time record high for August for Phoenix, Arizona is 117 degrees, and we tied that in late September. Just amazing heat that we're going through right now, and I showed that already. I also clicked on this weather station here near Phoenix, near Tempe, Arizona there. And if we take a look at one thing I like about this weather station is it does show any kind of warnings that are in your area. So you can just click on that and it gives you all kinds of information on what's going on in your area. Then you can click on this little icon to the upper right here. It's a little weather station looking thing, but then you can see all your data for your personal weather stations. If you want one of these, click on that link down below to save 10% off. You can already see it is 92 degrees out there already. Now, taking a look here at the Europe, this is the GFS actually. I'm going to take a look at what is coming as far as upper level ridges and troughs and try to see what is coming in our future. As we go through this weekend, you can see the system is moving through the Pacific Northwest, but doesn't offer much relief here to the state of California or any the desert Southwest for that matter. And you can see this ridging hanging on as we go through midweek. Not much relief showing up here. Something that showed up in the GFS here is this little upper level low right there. It does bring some precipitation with it, but that's way off in the extended forecast there, and it's not much, but we will be watching it as we go. And then you can see it tries to develop a tropical system to the south of Cabo and Baja California down here as well. But you can see this extensive ridging keeping things quite warm across some of the western portions of the USA. And look at that ridge just centered right over California and Nevada. That would no doubt keep the heat going. And if we take a look at that, mainly what we're going to be looking at is the upper level low as we go on in through the extended forecast and kind of see it showing up right there, bringing some precipitation values with it. Again, nothing too crazy. There goes that tropical system down here to the south of Cabo and Baja California. Where will that go? We'll kind of watch that and see if that has any chance to bring some moisture back up into the southwest USA. Of course, no promises, especially that far out. Got to get some model agreement on that first. But one good thing here is, that looks like the coffee pot fire, looks like the line fire are producing some smoke at times. They're mostly contained fires. And relatively speaking, we are doing quite well across the state of California. So you got to give thanks for that. And now if we take a look at that, again, there's the coffee pot fire, about 93% contained. If you look at the line fire, it's about 83% contained as well. Now looking at the GFS, we're looking at mean sea level pressure. And you can see one of the issues going on here as we go on in through next week is we're dealing with this thermal trough. We got some of this slight offshore flow that keeps us warm here across the desert southwest and much of the state of California. That's going to allow some of the coastal areas to warm up a bit here as well. And we scroll off into the future and you can kind of see we're not looking at much in the way of Pacific frontal systems moving through California, so things should stay warm as we go through the extended forecast. We'll continue to watch, excuse me, to see if one of these upper level lows can bring some precipitation with it or a tropical system has any chance. We'll continue to break that down day by day, but not looking at any big offshore wind event here through the extended forecast as well. So you can see right now we're dealing with some of this marine layer along the coastal areas. And if we scroll through here on the European artificial intelligence, here we go on in through Monday afternoon, you can see this pretty excessive heat for this time of year across much of California, Nevada, Arizona, includes Utah and Colorado and New Mexico for that matter. We scroll off in towards Tuesday afternoon. Look at some of this ridiculous heat. And this starts to include some of the coastal areas as well. Of course, it's going to be not quite as warm as what's going on through the interior, but a lot of areas 10, 15 or more degrees above average for this time of year. We go through Wednesday, you see it again, the heat just kind of blanketing much of the state. There's Thursday, we go through Friday, not much relief showing up through the extended forecast. Don't shoot the messenger here. But this has kind of got an ugly look to it. This is going to rapidly start some drought conditions if we do not get some relief, because it's still fairly warm this time of year. This is in excess of that warmth. And you can see a lot of areas 15 plus degrees above average as we go on into the early portion of the month. This is not good to see here. Now, taking a look at the national blend of models, you can see you've got the Sacramento, the San Joaquin Valley, coastal areas, or the desert areas. Death Valley would be right there. You can see Phoenix and out towards the desert areas of California. And we scroll through tomorrow, you can see things warming up for many of the valley areas. And again, along the immediate coast, there is some relief. But look at Tuesday, we're getting back into the hundreds here for some of the Sacramento, San Joaquin Valley. The desert's remaining very hot. There's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a tiny bit of a cool down coming as we go towards next weekend, but it doesn't look like that much. And this just may be some model smoothing things out, the national blend of models smoothing things out. So yeah, we'll just have to keep visiting this day by day, but it doesn't look like any big relief coming in the short term, although that does look a little bit better there as we go off in towards all the way towards October 8th and 9th. Now, looking at the max temperature departure from average as we go through the last 6 months, you can see that Southern California and some of Santa Barbara, Ventura County there, and some of the Los Angeles metro has been slightly below average. But you go in the interior areas and you can see just how amazingly warm it's been. Over 6 months, this is a huge deal. Some of these areas, 3, 4 degrees, and some of Arizona, 5 degrees plus above average for the 6 month stretch. And if we take a look the last 3 months here, you can kind of see, fairly close to the Santa Barbara and Ventura counties down there. But again, once you go into the interior areas, it warms up quite rapidly. And here we go just the last week. You can see Southern California slightly below average, but interior areas above, including places like Arizona. Look at that, 6 to 9 degrees above average for this time of year. And that's just an average over the week. Now, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, no surprise here with the above average, below normal for a lot of the Southwest as well. Hopefully we can throw a monkey wrench into this and start to bring some systems in here because we badly need it. But yeah, anyway, we'll just continue to break things down. We'll continue to look off into the future and see what relief might be coming. Otherwise, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.